What's up, guys? Justin and Zac here. Episode 104, right?
Yeah, I'm liking that
104.
song too. That intro song.
Yeah, that's good.
I like it.
Kind of gets my blood flowing. It's good.
It's good.
It's a good song. Episode 104. You got a celebrity that's close to 104 pounds because, again, we're in the lightweights, the super lightweights right now.
Really lightweight. Really
Floyd Mayweather area.
Yeah, I think he's a little heavier than 104, but he'll come into play in the 150 to 160 era.
Yeah, for sure.
100 pounds. This is going to be a little bit of a throwback. The goalkeeper from The Big Green. Do you remember that movie? The little fat kid with the red hair. He's got to be close to 100, right? He's got to be right there.
Yeah, probably.
The other one, because I started thinking about old school movies and celebrities. Icebox from The Little Rascals. The girl that was like bigger than all the boys. You remember Icebox? She was the girl.
The newer one?
Or the Little Giants. Sorry, not Little Rascals.
Oh, Little Giants.
Little Giants.
Okay. I don't
Icebox.
remember.
She's the one. She like puts on the face paint and stuff, and she's like bigger than all the boys. Yeah, that was someone I was thinking about. So I was going down the classic movie train. Maybe I was thinking, what's his name from The Sandlot? Bertram, the tall skinny kid. Bertram.
Yeah,
he had to have been around 100 pounds.
Kids are hard because at 100, you need a heavier kid for that. Yeah. You need like an 8-year-old Manny Delgado.
mini Manny running around.
Dude, one of the funniest little side stories on that show, because you've watched that, right?
Bits and pieces of it here and there, not a ton.
Gloria pulls a prank on Jay where she goes to the butcher shop and she tells Jay that, oh my gosh, I ran into an ex-boyfriend of mine. He works at the butcher shop. Have you seen this?
I don't think I've seen that one.
And so anyway, she's like, oh yeah, it's an ex-boyfriend, but like, you know, it's been years and years and he's super great. He wants to meet you and meet Manny and all this stuff. So Jay's like, okay, great. Yeah, that's fine. So he comes over and it's Fluffy.
Oh, no way. Iglesias? What's his name?
Yeah. Okay. So can you get the issue with having Fluffy walk through the door? Is it looks exactly like Manny. So Jay looks at him and then looks over at Manny and is like, wait a second, that's got to be his dad. Like, there's no way it's Javier, this other guy that.
Yeah.
And so the whole episode is based off of that. And then it winds up being a huge prank. At the end, you find out she's laughing, but she thought that he looked like Manny and he wanted to mess with Jay. She wanted to mess with Jay.
Nice.
So she had him come over, act like they dated, but it's funny.
That's
Anyways,
funny.
Side little Manny Delgado story.
Modern Family is very funny, though. If you've not watched Modern Family, there are moments in there, for me, like moments with Phil specifically, that are just unreal.
Phil and Jay are both.
Phil and Jay, yeah, it's true. Jay has some funny moments. There's that famous part with him where Gloria asks him, she's like, I'm going to take a shower. You want to come with me? And he's like, there's a gun in the locker out in the garage. And if I ever say no, I want you to use it on me.
Yeah.
Like, yep. That's
if you want dad stuff, there's great dad content in Modern Family with Phil and Jay. Yeah. So, anyways, awesome. Zach, you've been a little sick. The kids were sick.
A little sick. Kids have been sick.
There's definitely something going around with kids and families right now.
Yeah, dude, I had a buddy. His kid had influenza A and B at the same time.
Wow.
I don't even know how you tell that apart, but he had both of them at the same time, like 104-degree fever. That whole thing, that sucks.
Yeah.
My kids never got there, but yeah, it's just right timing, that I got a big event coming up this weekend where I'm leaving for a while. And now my kids have 3 days off of school before it. And I'm sick. So I'm like ultra low productivity right now, which sucks because I need to not be for my job.
Yeah.
But yeah, things are going and the kids have been sick on and off. We're getting some sunshine, so we're going to get ready to golf soon. But I did have a moment last week that made me really excited for this next spring. Micah was, it was one of those moments where I was just like, oh man, I got to get outside and play with Micah a little bit more. So I said, hey dude, let's go outside. Like, I know you got your little soccer ball thing. Let's go outside and kick the soccer ball around. So he goes and grabs it.
You got your little soccer ball thing.
It's like a foam. It's not a real soccer ball. It's like some foam plush thing. But he brought it outside. And I was like, all right, let's kick it. He's like, no, Dad, I want to throw it. I was like, all right, let's throw it. So he throws it to me. I start throwing it back and forth with him. And then it's on the ground. He starts trying to swing at it, like with his hands to just hit it. I was like, what are you doing? He's like, I want to hit it. I'm like, praise Jesus. This is what I've been waiting for. Yeah. So he's going to get a ball and a glove soon. And,
there you go.
And a bat soon. And we're going to start going to, we got a elementary school about 2 blocks from us.
Yeah.
And we'll go over to the field over there and just let him hit some and start.
He's 4?
He's 4. He'll be 5 in July. So
okay. Yeah, it's a good age.
Yeah.
Good age to
It's
start
going to be fun.
And,
he's a little afraid of the ball, but we'll get him there.
Okay. Those little golf wiffle balls will help.
Yeah. Yeah.
The tiny ones.
He does that thing where his automatic reaction to like tossing even a softball at him, not like a hard softball, but like backwards? A plushy ball, is kind of a jerk back, but then he puts his hands out and tries to stab the ball. Like, It's all right, buddy, just receive it. You just got to let it come to you. It's going to get there. Just let it fall into your hands.
That's normal though for a little kid.
Yeah, it's natural. He's got the jump.
They're trying to like catch it into them.
Yeah.
I think the biggest tell, and I can tell this with my kids right now that I coach, is if you have a hard ball, so not a wiffle ball. I mean, you can kind of tell with a wiffle ball, but the real thing pops in when he has a hard ball and he knows what it feels like. Yeah. Not to get hit, but he can physically touch it and he knows. If you start lobbing him balls, if he's stepping back, because that to me would be more of a telltale sign of he's afraid of the ball.
Yeah, sure.
Versus if he's just catching, like that's normal. Like. I think they're trying to not get hit in the face and they're just sticking their hands out when they're little. But I wouldn't be too concerned.
It was a proud dad moment, so I was excited about that. And then
it's the best feeling in the world.
Oh,
will you coach?
It made me think about it, to be honest. Yeah. It made me at least think about it. I was like, okay, am I ready to give up 3 days a week to do this?
Dude, it's the best thing in the world, man. It's so much fun.
But I don't know. We'll see. I might be that 6U coach that gets kicked out of games because I can't keep it under control. I don't know. We'll see.
I will say it is my favorite thing I'm doing right now in my life is coaching the little kids. It's a blast.
It's fun. It's fun. One of the favorite things I've done this last week was I did burgers on the charcoal grill last week.
Yeah.
Dude, when's the last time you've done that?
The last summer. It's a huge waste of charcoal unless you cook other stuff.
Yeah, 100% waste of charcoal. But it makes your burgers taste
for sure.
Through the roof, dude.
Yes.
And you know what it got me doing? I started looking up other types of smokers, and I found myself on Oklahoma Joe's website. They've just released this thing called the Bronco Mini. Moms out there, if you wonder what dads are thinking about when we're staring off into space, it's probably something like this. We're wondering if we could get a deal or truck parts or whatever. And this thing was only $3.29. Drum smoker, had a little spot in the bottom. And I'm like, dude, that's what I want.
Yeah.
That's what I want. There's a high-end version of it called a Chud Box. If you're interested, you can look into that.
We could do a segment of things guys daydream about.
Yeah, we should.
It's probably not what women...
It's probably not
what our wives think it is.
No.
Because a lot of times...
Not.
Well, have you heard of the Nothing Box?
Yeah, absolutely. I go there often.
Yeah. Like, I can't even... It's hard to explain. But for you, is that a literal... Is there nothing there?
As I've thought about it more, I think it's just... I'm thinking about stuff that uses a different part of my brain to think about. So I'm not like critically thinking about it.
You're not trying to think about it.
I'm not trying to think about it. It's just stuff just happening. Stuff I'm just... It comes.
You have no control.
I think stuff is there, but I can't remember it because I'm not intentionally thinking about something, like critically thinking about it. It's just happening. And so when my wife asks me, I'm like, nothing. I don't know.
Yeah, because I feel like women have this thought, or like our wives, the Nothing Box, and like, how can you just think about nothing? And they think of like you're like in a white empty room and you're just sitting there, like, which sometimes it
can be that. Yeah, it's true.
But for the most part, like if a wife asks their husband what they're thinking, they say nothing, and they're being honest that they're thinking about nothing. It is this typical, it's like a mindless flow.
Yep.
You're not trying, you're not steering your thoughts anyway. You're just like kind of going from idea to idea.
It's almost like dreaming. Like
it is.
Dreaming awake and
just
stuff's just happening.
Because then you get somewhere in your mind, you're like, I have no idea how I was.
Yeah, why? Yeah, like why was I just thinking of this T-Rex eating this Pop-Tart? That was weird.
Right.
But like,
I want a Pop-Tart now.
It's what happens though. You just think of the most random stuff. It just comes to your brain.
Yeah, that's so funny. A little pointer for you wives, which apparently women can't do that super well.
Yeah. Yep.
Which I guess I'm kind of thankful that I have that ability to just zone out.
Yeah. Think about a garage beer and all of a sudden I start thinking about how nice it is outside. And
then
all of a sudden it's like, then you just float off into whatever.
Got to hose my driveway down now.
Yeah. Whatever. Yeah.
this has nothing to do with anything, but I've made an observation, and maybe this is just the millennial in me now. I feel like the millennials are going to start entering the boomer range. We are
absolutely, yes.
So will that be the joke? You're such a millennial, and it's like, crap, that kind of hurts. You hear that every once in a while now. You see a lot of millennial content on social media. Yeah. I've noticed a new trend though that drives me absolutely insane. Like, and it's little, it's dumb. This is me just being cranky, a cranky mid-30-year-old man.
Grumpy dads, we're bringing it back.
Yeah. Grumpy dad segment of the week is, I see so many cars with like younger people, and they have like knickknacks on their dashboard. Is that happening up there?
Yes, I see it all the time.
Dude, I see, and so we're on a college campus, obviously, so I see, dude, I would say 50% of the cars now have like, and this is not even in this, I thought this was stupid back in the day when it was on your back behind you. People put stuff up there, but now you'll see stuffed animals, Beanie Babies, stuff all on the dashboard. I see these little like the plastic toys you get out of like a coin machine. It's like a duck or a bunny or a bear. And they're like glued to their thing. And I don't get it. I think it's the stupidest thing in the world. I see guys, dude. I see guys like that I would not even call like soft guys. That type of, you know what I mean? Like there's like some guys you'd see and you're like, yeah, that makes sense. Like he's kind of like that. But like I see guys that I know here, that students on campus that play on the basketball team or something, and you see their car and there's like a squishy octopus stuffed animal on their front, and it's just there permanently. And it just puzzles me. If you had to keep something on the front of your dash, but it had to be something, it couldn't move, as an item of decor, what would you put on your dashboard?
An AR.
Just on the front window?
Just to let people know. Don't mess with me. Don't mess with me. That's it.
Oh, man.
If it never moved, like you couldn't use it ever, so it can't be anything useful.
It was strictly for decor.
For decoration purposes only. I mean, what this feels like is when people have a bunch of stuff in their bio on Instagram, like on the top part. That's what this feels like. Like I'm trying to pick what am I going to put there that's going to let other people know something about me.
Right.
Man, if I could just have anything there. But like, can it have any function at all? Like if it was an air horn. Could you use that or
no? I'm talking like
literally just decor only.
Yeah, it's like these people have like stuffed animals or those little knickknacks.
Probably this sounds stupid, but probably like a clock or at least something that's useful. Something that's actually helpful, not like
you wouldn't stick like a hat or like a.
Not on the front dash is gonna get torched.
Yeah, but if it's just for decor,
I take better care of my hats than that.
Yeah, but if you're gonna shove it in the corner of your dashboard, it's there. It's there. It's like you're gonna wear it later. Like, oh, I forgot a hat today. Let me put this on my head. Like, this is strictly for
that's true.
Like, how about like who's your favorite baseball player of all time?
Man, what a question! Just throw that one out there.
Give me a random player, like a player you like a lot.
Oh, I mean, Vlad, Eric Chavez, Barry Zito. I mean,
let's do Eric Chavez because at Oakland A's. What if you had a miniature like Eric Chavez Oakland A bobblehead? Would you just glue that?
I actually have a Coco Crisp bobblehead sitting in my room right now. All-time names team for baseball. Yeah, I mean, I guess, yeah. I guess I would do a bobblehead of some kind. That's fine.
I had a family member date Coco Crisp. They might have been married, actually. But it's like one of those relatives. It's like my grandma's cousin's daughter. It's like that type of thing. Like, where it's just like too far away to really get anything.
Sure. Yeah. You're not getting free tickets or nothing.
Did I tell you about my in-laws? Did I tell you the story about my sister-in-law?
What about them?
My sister-in-law, Amanda. So Christina's brother's wife. It's just this whole family, famous people connection.
Sure.
Did I tell you this story? Dude, so they came over a couple years ago, and I was talking about baseball. They're not really sports people, like to any extent. And so I don't know how it came up, but Amanda goes, oh, my two cousins played baseball. And I'm like, cool. Like, I have no idea to what extent.
Seeger brothers is the first thing that came to mind.
So she goes, I go, like, were they good? She's like, I think they were. I think one was actually really good. And I'm like, were they playing the majors? And like, she's like, yeah, I think they played in the majors, like played on teams. I think she dropped like Yankees. And I'm like, oh. I said, okay, like if they were good. So I asked, because she said she thought one of them was really good. And so I was like, well, if I ask her who it is, if they're really good, I'll know. And she goes, oh, well, my older one's Jason, and then the younger one's Jared. It's the last name is Giambi.
Oh my gosh. No way. Jason and Jeremy Giambi were her cousins?
Those are her cousins. First cousins. Yeah. Isn't that
Dang,
wild?
dude.
And I was like, I sat there at my table and I was like, Amanda, are you serious? Like, your cousin is Jason Giambi? Like, he's one of the greatest players of all time.
Yeah, dude, literally.
Like, so
I get biceps, dude, for days.
She completely undersold it. And then I was like, you've got to be kidding me.
Unreal.
Yeah, so I was like, that's
and
so
Jeremy
cool.
had a streak in his own right where he was decent. But yeah, Jason Giambi was.
No, I mean, yeah, dude. I told her, I think I looked at her.
Baseball.
I looked at her and I said, Amanda, I've literally played with Jason Giambi on Backyard Baseball when I was 11.
Right.
Like,
yeah,
the guy's
right.
like a superhero.
Yeah.
It's just like, she just
he
like
was built
like,
like one too, dude. He was
like,
huge.
I think they were pretty good. I was like, okay, like Jason Giambi. Good Lord. Are you kidding me?
That's insane.
That guy was
awesome.
Insane. Yeah, so that was kind of funny.
That is fun.
Anyways, we've talked a lot of baseball.
Yeah. Not just today. We're talking about in our sports podcast.
In our sports podcast,
yeah, baseball.
I forget that sometimes these are separate. But I have another trivia question for you, and it is baseball related.
Oh boy. Okay. I'm not sure if I'm ready for it.
But it's not it's not that hard. And I just want one. We can get into some depths of this conversation after the fact. I could do some follow-up questions.
Okay.
But I want the number one. Which ballpark has the deepest center field currently in Major League Baseball?
Used to be Houston because of the hill that used to be out there, but they got rid of it.
Minute Maid Park is currently 5th.
Okay. Because I think it used to be number 1.
Yeah, that stupid hill. Yeah, who would put that there? Who designed that?
Wasn't it like 4? I think it was like 470 something out there with the hill before. I don't know what.
Right now it's listed at 404. So I don't know if it could have been 470.
Maybe it was like 440. Maybe it was somewhere in that range. On center field, or deepest center field, I kind of want to go with the Mariners.
Mariners.
Are they even in the top 5?
The Mariners are not in the top 10.
Oh, dang. It's really that small of a park, huh? For it being a pitcher's park, I thought it would be deeper.
This is center field, though. So, I mean, there's deep areas. You can have deep left center field, deep right center field.
Yeah.
Deep right, you know what I mean? There's different.
Yeah, it's true. I guess the whole of what is it? It's not T-Mobile anymore. Or it is T-Mobile, not Safeco. So let me think. San Francisco, Oracle Park in San Francisco. What's Triple's Alley out there? That's got to be deep.
Not in top 10.
No way. Really?
Yeah. Nope. Yeah.
Is it just because the wall is so high? Is that what it is? Because it's called Triple's Alley because it's so deep back there. That's wild to me. Or they consider that right center, not like true center field, maybe.
Yeah, that might be right center. I think this is just dead center field straight from home
Strictly
plate.
dead center. Here's a random one. Kauffman Field, Kansas City.
Kauffman. Sorry, now I'm coughing. Is not on there.
All right. I'm apparently terrible at this and don't know anything about baseball parks.
I mean, Houston is in 5th at 404 feet. The number 1 park is 420 feet to dead center.
420 to dead center.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, previously I would have said Oakland Coliseum. I don't think they're 420, but they were up there in the 400s. At one point.
They're not on this list right now, but all the top,
because they play in Sacramento. Who cares?
Yeah.
I'm just seeing how many baseball parks I know now. PNC
is on there. It is 4th at 410 feet. It's kind of a hard one. I mean, this is not. I mean, it's
you kind of have to know it. I don't know if there's too many just like picking it out. Because I mean, I could go through all the stadiums.
Right.
I mean, Busch Stadium in St. Louis.
Busch Stadium is not on there. So here's what we do. I'll start from the top. I'll do the top 10 for you. You have Chase Field, so the Diamondbacks and Minnesota Twins both come in at 400 feet. And then you have Minute Maid Park at 404. And then you have Citizens Bank, the Phillies play at 409. Oh, Yankee Stadium was at 408. Then Citizens Bank at 409. And then you have Pittsburgh and Cleveland at 410. Coors Field is 415. And the 25-year-old now, Comerica Park, is at 420 feet to dead center field.
No way. There's some
Makes
space
you wonder how many home runs Miguel Cabrera would have hit if he would have played somewhere else.
No joke, huh? Detroit, figure it out, dude.
Yeah. So
pull those fences in for your players, dude.
420. Do you know the shortest center field wall in baseball? Shallowest. At 390 to dead center.
My guess was going to be Boston.
It is Boston.
Yeah.
Yeah, there
sure.
you go.
That makes sense.
So there you go. If you guys out there wondering who has the deepest center field fence, it is Comerica. That would not have been my first guess, to be honest.
It's obviously
I think
not
I would have
mine.
said Coors, and I think I would have thrown out like where the Rangers play.
Oh yeah, what's the name of their stadium now?
I can't remember. It used to just be like Arlington something, but it's not that.
Who's Target Field? Oh, that's the Padres, huh?
No,
or they're
Target,
Petco.
I think Target is Minnesota.
Target's Minnesota, that's right.
But I don't think it's that anymore. I think the sponsor changed. Maybe not. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But anyways, deepest center field in all of baseball, Comerica Park, Detroit Tigers, the land of terrible baseball, really. So that's
just Detroit and Chicago.
Yeah.
More the White Sox than the Cubs, but the Cubs for a long time too.
Yeah.
It's not a great area for baseball.
Yeah. Anyways, Zach, we were talking about dude, as a parent, man, it's easy to judge people. It's easy to judge other parents.
100%.
Specifically.
Is it?
And it's also just as easy to feel judged by other parents too, because we all have that. That might be more comparison. But we wanted to talk today about some of the things that us specifically that we judge other parents on. And so I'm not saying I'm just saying more in the context of things we are judgmental over. Like what would make us stop and gauge a parent's parenting ability and So Zach, what is something that you would judge a parent over?
Yeah, this happens frequently. How much candy parents give their kids. Yeah. There are some parents out there that just don't care. And I'm like, are you serious? Or if it's first thing in the morning, like you're somewhere and it's 9 a.m. and they give their kid a lollipop or something. I'm like, bro, what is wrong with you?
Right.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Get that wild animal under control. It's like, you want to know why he has behavior issues? That right there, dude.
Right.
Red dye and sugar.
Right. Yeah.
Candy's a big one because maybe it's just because we see it, how it affects our kids so much. So we really limit it. It's not like our kids don't have candy. Don't call CPS on me. They have candy and chocolate and stuff, but we hold it pretty close to the chest. And so when I see parents that are just like, yeah, whatever, they just give their kid all the candy, that because I feel like it says something about the parent, right? Like you just don't care. It's kind of what it feels like from my perspective.
Yeah.
Is that
my first one?
Fair?
Yeah, and well, this is my first one, and I feel like this is kind of 2 in 1. Mine is tablets.
Yeah, how often?
It's junk food and tablets. If you do that, you're and you know what's funny is I have noticed that both of those things go hand in hand.
Oh,
if you're giving your kid junk food, you're giving your kid tablet, and if you're giving your kid tablet, you're giving your kid junk food, and it's the same people that it's like, oh, I don't care, and they just don't care. Yeah,
it feels that way. It feels like from your perspective when you see a parent just like, oh, here's a phone, shut up, here's your cookies. It kind of feels like you just don't care.
Is it you don't care? Right. That's okay. Because I was going to ask you, if you're that parent, what do you think is going through their head? They're just too tired, or they don't know what they're doing.
They're probably too tired, or they're probably like, I have stuff I need to get done. I need you to take care of yourself.
Right.
That would be my guess is what it is most of the time. Maybe I'm just assuming the best in people.
Right.
But the perception is you just don't care.
Yeah.
Parenting's hard.
A couple times.
Takes a lot of work.
It is. And there are some times we've been really intentional, and we've talked about this before, in not having screens for our kids. And when we go out to eat once in a blue moon. And I will say this, they're all to the age now. I think it's a little different as they get a little older in doses because I can have a game on my phone that the boys like to play, but they're older and they're playing the game. I'm talking when you see a kid that's 2 and they're just watching.
A toddler. Yeah. Zoned out watching Coco Melon. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, oh my gosh. That's it's terrible. Or if in the sense of having older kids, if they are just on it nonstop, that's a problem too. But for the most part, we've kept it pretty basic with our kids and not having, I was at someone's house one time and they had a little kid close to our kid's age, and the mom said to one of her kids, she said, go get your tablet. And I was like, your tablet? It's like,
he's got his own tablet already?
We have an iPad. Our family has an iPad. But and when we do on the rare occasion that our kids use it, I say, hey, go get my iPad. And that might be too nitpicky, but I don't think it is. No. Because it's not theirs.
That's how we are with Bree. Bree has an iPad, and the kids will ask, hey, can we use mom's iPad to listen to stories or whatever? They know it's hers. It is not theirs.
Yeah. So
I think that's fair.
Yeah. And the mom was like, go get your iPad. And I was like, oh, they have their own iPad.
Yeah.
It has the little hard case on it. It's got
yeah. Because if it gets chucked across the room or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that would be two of the most common things would be junk food and screen time.
Yeah. Yep.
What's another one?
For sure. This one's a little tougher to gauge at times, but how parents discipline their kids, especially in public settings. Like if you're in a grocery store and your kid is just screaming. This happened just a couple days ago while we were at Costco, and I could see this mom trying to gentle parent her toddler back down to sanity, and this kid is just wailing, dude. And I'm like, at some point, you as a parent need to take over and just be in control. And say, I'm going to remove this kid from the situation.
I am 150 pounds bigger than you, and I'm moving you out, and we're leaving.
We're done.
Yeah.
Like, and so, or if I see a kid do something like wild, like I remember seeing a kid at our Safeway over here, like open up a candy bar and just start eating it. Like mom didn't even like flinch. She's just like, what are you doing? Now I have to pay for that. And then just kept moving on. I'm like, oh, no. No shot. That's not happening in my family. So just the way that I feel like, and this is not me saying I know how to solve all these issues, because I just said parenting is hard. I do not know how to handle all of that stuff. But there are times when it's like, it's evident that parents don't discipline their kids.
Yeah,
you can see it in a kid, and you can see that it's evident in how they behave.
Yeah.
And it's just like frustrating. Like, come on, man.
So here's a question for you. Scenario: you're at the grocery store. You're in checkout lane 2. Checkout lane 1, kid and mom, gentle parent duo, right there. Let's say that. So lane 1 is a kid and a mom, and then lane 3 is a dad and another kid, and both the kids are freaking out. So you're in the middle lane of both of them. They're both freaking out. You have one mom, gentle parenting, not getting anywhere. And then you have one explosive dad who like rips his kid out of the cart and drags him out of the store to like an extreme extent. Who do you judge more?
Well, I mean, the explosive thing definitely looks worse.
Right.
I mean, it just looks bad because you're like, okay, this guy could be.
Is he going to go beat his kid?
I was going to say, yeah, he's 2 minutes away from going and beating his kid. Like, we have no idea.
Right.
Where the gentle parenting thing is just like, you're just wasting your time.
But internally, which one irritates you more? Or is it pretty just like they're both kind of the same? And I mean, they're both extreme cases. I'm talking the extreme.
Yeah. I mean, if a kid's being really obnoxious and you have that mom that's like laying on the ground, like, I just want you to express your emotions and I hear you. And
do you feel safe here?
That's so irritating.
Do you give me permission to talk to you right now?
Dude,
your child is 2. He doesn't need your permission.
Yeah, that is frustrating in a different way. But that internally, that is hard. And I see a kid going through that and they're just losing their mind, and some parent, saying that kind of stuff. Get a grip, lady. That dude, they don't care.
We did talk about meltdowns a long time ago. We both, I think, have carried our kids out of a store.
Oh, I've carried my kids out of Costco so many times.
And you're just
they
like,
lose it. And I'm like, I'm done. I'm done. Like, I'm carrying you, and I'm sure I've had stares from people. And there's even been times where I've carried him out and I've seen people looking at me, and it was literally because Micah, we had to put his book away because we were done walking through Costco. Right. So he put his book back and he goes nuclear. And so I'm walking out with him, basically thrown over my shoulder.
Yeah.
And I'm like, he's okay. I put his book back. That's what we're leaving. Like, that's it. And like, I feel the need to preface it sometimes because it looks bad, but like, I've definitely carried my kids out of stores.
Yeah, I carried Jaden out of Target over my shoulder one time and was just,
I
ain't having it, dude. We ain't doing this today.
We're not doing it today. That's right.
Yeah, it was a mess. So
we're in that weird space between being a tough old dad and a soft dad. We're medium rare dads.
Yeah,
we're the medium rare. Like, we're trying to be the perfect balance of, hey, I need you to listen, and then if you don't listen, now you're gonna get in trouble.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. One of the big ones for me is one, your kids' hygiene. But like, I mean, kids get dirty, and like,
oh yeah,
but
sure.
More so, if I see a sloppy parent, like if you look a mess, I will judge you pretty intensely. Where I'm just like, yeah, I don't know.
Totally have done that.
You know what I mean?
Because it's one thing if you see a parent show up and they're well put together and their kid is just dirty and a mess and whatever. You're just like, oh, it's just a kid. But like,
it's not. I'm not even saying casual. Like, I'm not saying I'm gonna not. If you're in sweatpants or mom is in like her workout pants or sweatshirt hoodie, it's not that.
No.
I'm saying like if you're just like if your clothes are kind of dirty or you got like
if you're bumming it,
yeah.
Like, you got the stained sweatpants on with holes in them, and you're wearing Crocs with socks and
or
weird
Uggs. Yeah.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
That's hard for me because I'm like, my first thought is like, poor kid.
Or Elmo pajamas. That's another common one. Yeah.
Yeah, all the Walmart shoppers.
I will say there's fine stuff at Walmart.
There is.
But
it just ain't the people.
Stereotypes are there for a reason. Ugh.
Yeah. You got anything else? What's up? You got any?
Another one I would say for parents is, well, it's tough because I realize I'm a unique personality in the sense of like, I'm pretty fiery and passionate and stuff. So when I see parents that are like beyond laid back, like not just like, oh, that person's pretty chill, but like they'll literally like don't care about anything, and they're like willing to like they don't play with their kids or whatever just because they're so like, oh, I'm just doing my own thing or whatever. That's frustrating. So I guess you could say it as like when parents don't like prioritize their kids. Like they're just being super selfish still. Like, oh, I'm doing my own thing and I have these kids. Like, dude, I don't even understand how that's possible.
Yeah.
Like, dude, your kids are yours. Like, that's your purpose in life now. Should have thought about that before you had them, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know how to explain that really to do it better. Like, yeah, when parents just maybe don't care about their kids. Yeah, I don't know. That's what I'm thinking of.
I think one of the ones that I struggle with a lot is it's easy. Now, this is not judging kids. This is judging parents. But when you assess or gauge a kid on your own, and then you see the parent and their perspective of their child does not seem as accurate, when it's like, oh, are you watching the same game? Like,
yeah, right.
Not game in a literal sense. I'm not talking about like my little league kids. I'm just saying like that. Like, are you paying attention to what everyone else is paying attention to? Because your kid does not seem to act, behave, whether it's behavior or talent or skill or ability, the way that you are perceiving them to be is a very easy area for me to get very judgmental in, just because I'm like, your gauge isn't, but it's hard when it's your kids, you know, we don't know, you live with them all the time and you're around them. And so I think you get used to what they are. I remember when you're a new parent and you have like a baby and they get, you know, to 3 months and then they're sitting up at 5 months and then, you know, crawling at 7 to 10 months and then walking from 10 months to however, you're always comparing, but you're only used to your kid.
Right. Yeah.
And so like, I remember the first time Jaden took a little bit longer to walk, but I remember like we had a friend come over and their kid was walking and I was like I thought our kid was great and your kid's walking already. And like
2 months before.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm like, what? Like walk, Jaden.
Yeah.
You know, and so I think you just get used to what you know. And I do think some parents kind of have that tunnel vision where if you're not intentional in opening up the parameters of like reality, I think that sometimes maybe you can just like zone in on your kid and their ability. And it's the greatest thing in the world if you're just, you know, kind of like, you know,
your kid just might not be the most athletic kid. You might just have to be okay with that. Yeah. I've literally had like Breeze asked me like, what will you do if both of our kids like don't like sports? I'm like, well, first off, it's not going to happen. But if it does happen, I'm going to love them still anyways. And I just got to recognize not everybody's going to understand that I view Cammie as the next right outside hitter for the U.S. women's Olympic volleybable team. Not everybody sees her in that way. I see her in that way.
Right.
But not everybody does. And I'm okay with that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it is.
Yeah. It's being a parent. It's a whole different game. Lots of different types of parents and people. And it's easy to get judgmental. It's easy to be judged too.
Sure is.
But all right. Well, that's all we got for you guys this week. Thanks for hanging out. Episode 104. I keep forgetting of Definitely Dads. We will see you guys next week. We also have our sports episode out real quick. So I know we didn't post one last week, but we have one out. So go check that out. Yeah. We'll talk to you guys later.